And call it.
319. School of Social Sciences, Yeno Manuela.
School of Social Sciences,
they are not allowing funds. When someone is coming out.
We have Joanne Rose Martin. Joanne Rose Martin.
School of Sciences, Nangaudi, Angela. Nangaudi.
SBIT Nkumba Priscilla.
Mr. Toka, the university has a tuition payment policy of 20%, of which if you've not paid that 20%, you don't participate in elections. What is your take on that 20% tuition payment policy?
Yeah, thank you so much for this question. I understand, yeah, the university has a 20% tuition policy for one to qualify to be a voter. But in my own capacity, I strongly believe elections are supposed to be free. Elections are supposed to be free. And let me repeat, elections are supposed to be free and fair, because these are students who are going to choose someone in one way they think are going to contribute to their well-being. So that one you can't deny someone who is a member of an institution, a registered member of this institution, from what? From from voting, because that person has the right to participate in elections. He has the right to contribute to the upcoming government, unless the person is not registered. But if the person is registered with whatever percentage, that person qualifies to be a vote. Because we know also the institution has a policy that for you to register, you must have paid something. So there's no student who registers without paying something. But making it 20% is not a must. Yeah.
If I can cut you short here,
Yeah.
how does this 20% payment policy affect you and your voters? How does it affect you?
Yeah, so much it affects my voters in a way that it's going to impact them psychologically. First of all, some of them might have already prepared their mind off to vote. Not only my voters, but also to other aspirants where they have prepared themselves to vote. So it's going to affect them that they are not going to participate in the election processes. But even to me, I'm already going to lose some votes. Some people are going to be left out of the 20% tuition policy in order to qualify to vote. So they are going to be left out. It is going to affect the number I'm going to achieve. I'm going to get as a what? As a guild aspirant.
So
that's what I look at.
So you mean the university has actually denied some of your voters from voting? That's what you.
The right to vote has been restricted here, honestly.
Yeah. So if you voted into power, will you still support this policy, or you're going to seek for amendment or removal of this policy?
I look forward to looking at least pushing for amendments for this policy, because all I look forward in 2 years, if they could make it open that yes, for someone to qualify to be a voter, the person should be a registered member of this institution, and then it becomes very easy. We can't do with that all completely, but registration, we know that through the university policy, you are supposed to pay something first before you register. Before you register, so it means you can register with even 5% tuition payment. You can register with even 2% tuition payment, or even 50 or 15, something less than that. So as long as the person can afford to register, the person should qualify to vote. That's how I look into the amendments to look like in this towards this policy. Thank you so much for it.
So, Tim, let's start from here.
Yes, please.
On average, how many students do we really have at Nkumba University?
On average, the number of students we have is about 4,000. I may not have the exact number, but about 4,000, 4,200 at the moment, those who are registered. Because being a student, we believe that you must have been registered by the academic registrar's office, registered in the schools, and of course what qualifies you to register is the payment of the tuition as required by our policies.
So let's talk about this. August intake is compressed with a lot of activities. But in particular, let's talk about the guild elections. Why do we have 20% tuition payment policy?
Oh, thank you so much. The 20% tuition payment policy is actually just a policy for only the guild and specifically for guild elections. But the university's payment policy is very different because we have the fees payment policy, which calls for the student, especially the new students, are required to pay at least 60% before they register. The continuing students will have a policy where you are expected to pay at least 40% in the first semester, in the first month of reporting, 40% in the second month of reporting, and then the other 20% before you sit examinations. That is our policy of the university for tuition payment. We call it in short as 40-40-20. Yes.
Be specific on 20% payment policy.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
you said, students say they have been denied from voting and participating in democracy in their university because of that 20%.
Thank you so much. When they say 20% is too much or is one of the ways to deny them their democracy or their chance to elect their leaders, in a real sense, even if it was any other person, usually there are always some conditions or requirements for you to become a member of a community. And like I've told you, we have the 20% policy. But the guild, for you to be a guild or to qualify to vote, it is only 20%. And these elections are even coming towards the end of the semester. I think we're already in our third month of the semester, which is really a very, very favorable policy for the students to vote. If it was maybe saying that by now we would be asking for 100% for you to enter into the gates or to do what, that would be something which is very worrying. But the 20%, even those ones who are planning to pay after exams, must have at least paid something for them to qualify to vote for their leaders.
But still students who pay at the end of voting. There are those ones who pay at the end, like towards exams.
Exactly. You see, even like I've told you, even in any other community, there are some more requirements or some policies or bylaws that you have to always respect. How do we know that you are a student? How do we run the system? Remember, we have to budget, and the activities that are run by the university, even the voting itself, is supposed to be financed. How do you want us to run those activities without students paying? Remember, Nkumba University is a private university which is not funded by government. So we run our activities using the contributions from the students. Now, if the students say we are going to vote, they need the voting materials, the voting officials need to be facilitated. Right now, the campaign, there are very many things that must be facilitated. And that is very important that at least there must be something that you have paid. That's why we're calling for at least just 20% to allow all others. Of course, of recent, they closed the gates because a number of students had not paid anything, and we were calling for 60% payment. And a number of students are actually responded and paid the money. Yes.
So in this case, who funds the elections and how much does it cost?
The total cost of the election, I may not be I may not be in the right position to give you the cost of that election, because it's basically in the docket of the Dean of Students. But basically, the students' activities are funded by the guild contribution or the guild fund that they contribute as they're paying their tuition. So it's basically picked from that guild, the guild fee that the students pay. So it's not necessarily the university or some other organization is funding the guild elections or any other elections, no. That's why I was saying the activities of the university are generally run by the funds generally collected from the tuition that is paid from the students. Yes, please.
There's an allegation that Nkumba University has a debt of 10 billion cedis, right? And they're trying to use these policies to cover up that amount. Is that allegation true?
When we talk about an allegation, it's truly an allegation, because basically I might be hearing it for the first time from you. But it may not deny the fact that the university may be having some other debts. You know, when you're running such a university, and you remember recently we had a pandemic that disorganized many of the activities. Yes, the debts might be there, but not general. Not saying that 10 billion and using policies to deny you services. That's not true. We are operating our services and people are accessing the services. Of recent, just a few weeks ago, just a few days ago, you had the guild, called it what? The cultural gala. Last semester, you were crying about the freshers' ball. That one was also done. I think the university is funding almost all the activities. And that's why we are saying students have to respond and make their payments as required. And the policy of the university is very fair. If we don't respect and follow the policy, then we may not be able to move our activities and operate them normally. So issues of the debt do not affect any activities of the guild. So that one shouldn't worry you, because the university is moving on very steadily. You're welcome, please.